Well, good morning back to you in studio. Betty Kiptum, like you said, we are right inside the Kenya Bureau of Standards headquarters here in Nairobi, that is located in South C. And where I am right now is at the dosimetry lab. Today we are talking things to do with radiation. We understand the issues surrounding the radiation in different sectors. Talk about healthcare, talk about the environment, talk about the mining sector, talk about the industries. There are some areas within those sectors that usually have levels of radiation. When you talk about X-ray, there are attendants at the hospitals who usually deal with X-rays, and those people are usually exposed to radiation. Now, have you ever asked yourself whether the radiation levels are monitored and managed? Well, yes, they are managed and monitored. So why we are here at KEBS is that there is a new machine. KEBS has all along been procuring services from service providers, but there is a new machine. This is the first in Africa. The other service providers have been giving manual machines of managing and monitoring the radiation at the areas where are exposed to the radiation levels. Right now, what I'm wearing, this, I've been told it's a badge. This is a badge that in this room, my radiation levels, my exposure to the radiation levels has to be monitored. And this is a badge. And this is the badge that is also usually given to the other attendants in the different sectors, where KEBS, through the procurement of the other service providers, now manages to see the levels that these people are exposed to. But there is a new machine here. If my cameraman could just pan right towards it. This is the new machine. It's the first in Africa. The other services have been done manually. We have been told that this is an automatic one, but I will not say much. I am not an expert in this. I will bring on board Alphonsus Kipkemboi. He is an officer here at this particular lab. It's a dosimetry lab. Karibu sana, Alphonsus.
Okay, thank you.
Kindly tell us, what exactly is this? Because this is a new terminology to Kenyans, I believe. We understand there are radiation cases. We understand there's the radiation exposure. But what exactly is this? Just take us through this particular machine.
Okay, thank you, and welcome back to Kenya Bureau of Standards. This is dosimetry lab. My name is Alphonsus Kipkemboi. I work in dosimetry lab. Basically, here with me is a OSL, optical stimulated luminescent reader. It's an automatic dosimetry system that we use for monitoring of radiation levels in the hospitals and any industries that they have radiation, ionizing radiations. So basically, this machine is automatic in that it has a robotic arm. Talk of the AI technology. Here we have now the real robot in the lab. And it's the first machine in Africa with the robotic system. So basically what the robot does is that it tries to replace the human body by placing the dosimeters in the reader. So basically this machine can do the OSL. The goodness of the OSL system is that it can be repeated. Once the radiation levels, you monitor it for say a month, then you come and read it, then it erases it. The goodness of that machine, the black box you are seeing there, is that it can be able to read the dosimeter, the OSL dosimeters. So basically what the robotic arm does is that it places the dosimeters there. We have the order of the badges here. So in this hall, I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So you have to place the dosimeters, and it holds a capacity of around 250 dosimeters. So what the robot does is that it picks the dosimeters and takes it in. So it places it inside that body. You can see the black.
Just a minute for the camera to move close.
Yes. So it places these OSLs inside here.
Let us see the OSL.
This is the OSL system. It measures individual dose levels.
So this is the one that you give to the attendants in those...
Yes, this is what we give to the attendants, but we place it inside a casing just to make it for security reasons to be hard. When it falls down, it doesn't break. Okay. So we have this casing. But this is the actual system. It monitors the dose levels in the whole body and the skin. Yeah.
Okay. What's the normal, can I say, dosage for the radiation for a human being?
Okay, so under the Kenya Nuclear Regulatory Authority, they give us the specifications that occupational radiation worker has the cumulative dose in a year should be not exceed 20 millisieverts. But for the members of the public, it should not exceed 1 millisieverts.
Let me understand. We have the Kenya Nuclear Regulatory Authority, right?
Yes.
Which manages, or how can I put it? Let me say, which takes care of the radiation exposure outside there. How does KEBS come in terms of that?
Okay, for them they set the standards, but they list the service for technical service providers. They are not doing the actual monitoring of the but they don't do the actual monitoring, but they give it to a third party. So as we will be bidding with the other technical service providers in the country. But the goodness of our system is that it's automatic. So it doesn't take a lot of time for you to do the reading or the preparing mode. As you can see, when you came in, I placed some dosimeters, but already it has finished preparing them. So they are now ready to be dispatched to the hospital, to the radiation workers across the country, both in the hospitals and the mining industries, and also those doing the radiographers, both like the NDT people, that they want to test that in two joints of let's say a pipe, like carrying fuel. You have those welders who solder, they connect the two pipes. So you have to put some radiation to check the integrity of the welder. So those people also have to be monitored because they are using ionizing radiation.
Talk to us about this being an automatic one. You are saying you used to procure services from service providers for the radiation managing and monitoring. How different will this work for you compared to how it was manually?
Okay, for our system, because it's an automatic one, it means our services will be cheap because we are not overwhelmed, and the capacity it takes to do the measurements is like in a day you can do more than 2,000 dosimeters. And as compared to the others that are manual, currently in the country we have manual systems. This is the only one that is automatic. So the cost has to be expensive to save on time because you have to hire more personnel to do the readings. So our system, and when you are overwhelmed, you tend to give fake readings. You can take like 200 dosimeters, then the rest you just replicate what the other dosimeters can do. If they give us this, the other technical service providers, then you expose them. You expect that when they are giving you a report, they'll tell you that there were some dosimeters that it went beyond the limits. Like for our case, we did an example, we could expose some, then we give to the technical service providers to read. But they could not show you the alarming rate that, hey, we saw one dosimeter, like it went beyond the limits, the expected limits. But for our case, because it's an automatic system, we don't get overwhelmed.
So with this new machine, how is KEBS benefiting? Do you feel like maybe you will reduce the cost of procuring the services? How is KEBS benefiting, and how are Kenyans also benefiting from the services of KEBS with this machine?
Okay, KEBS will benefit because we will be under technical service providers, so we will be bidding to the other industries like the hospitals and the mining industries for them to give us the tender. So our work will be an income generating to KEBS, and the members of the public, they'll see value for their money because we will be giving them actual readings, real-time readings, because we will not exaggerate anything, and it's cost-friendly. Yes.
Maybe just from a layman's understanding, how important is the readings of the monitoring of the radiation to those people who are exposed to the radiation, whether in hospital? How important is it? Okay, because occupational radiation workers, there is tendency that during your work time, you are exposed to radiation. So it's very important to monitor the dose levels so that you don't exceed the limit. Because if you exceed the limits, there is probability of getting cancer out of that. And that's why this service is there for you to be monitored as a radiation worker so that you can know if you are really exposed or not. And because
I'm saying, like, when you are exposed, it's not an instant thing that you'll feel, but it takes time for you to get to see the effects of radiation. So you need to be monitored to be sure that in case you'll get, let's say, God forbid, you get a cancer, you are sure that it didn't come from your work, from your course of work, yes, because you are working under radiation and you are exposed, yes. So it's like a safety mechanism for all radiation workers to be monitored. And there is no need not to be monitored, and we have the services here in Kenya, and it's cost-friendly, yes.
Talk to us about, you spoke about some robotics there, and just maybe let us, are you able to open this other door? Because initially, okay. So
you can also see, yeah, this is a robotic arm. Let me just add some dosimeters there, then you can see actually how it's working.
How it reads.
Yes.
Okay.
These are the dosimeters that we give to the hospitals. But before we give, we have to prepare.
Why have I been told it's a badge?
Yeah, it's a badge, like anything that you wear. It's just a badge.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
You put it on like a badge.
Yeah, it's like a badge, but it's a dosimeter badge. Okay. It measures the dosimeter levels.
Okay. So Kiptum, okay.
So I'm placing it on this. This is a dosimeter holder. So we place it here, and you can see it takes around 5 of them, and we have 50 casings. So it can hold around 250 at a go. Yeah. Then we just increase them because it reads it very fast. So let me just have around 10. Yes.
I want us to see how the robotics arm, it's called a robotics arm, you said?
Yes.
I want to see how it works. So it's the one that will come pick the dosimetries
and places inside here. This is an OSL reader. It reads and erases. So this is where the actual thing takes place. But here we are trying to replace the human beings. Because in an ideal scenario, you could be using this and placing it inside here. But for now, because we have the robot, it
so
will do
if you in manual occasions, you will have placed it on that the reader.
Yes,
then you have to wait for how long for it to be finished?
For reading, it's impromptu because it's just reading the dose levels. It's like less than 30 seconds for reading. But for erasing, because we are just deleting the dose levels, yes, the previous information. So it takes time for reading.
That one was with the manual machines, or even now?
Yeah, the manual machine. This is just a bit faster in erasing it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that means if now you had, the manual process you had to put it there, then that means you also had to wait for it to be done, you remove, place another one?
Yeah, for the manual system, you could just be placing and removing, and assuming you are working with around 200 badges.
So then that means
it takes a lot of time.
And then holds you there on the machine.
It holds you there. Then because it's just a repetitive thing, then you are overwhelmed because it's just repeating the same process.
So now what are we going to see after you?
After I've placed, then I'll have to close this because this is the playground for the robot. It's a safety mechanism that when you just open the door, it stops moving. This is just safety to avoid the robot hitting your hand for injuries. Yes. So after placing them, I come. This is like my computer. I have to operate. I have to select, like here. I have to select the cell numbers that I've placed my dosimeters. Like for now, it's in 49 and 50, so I have to change the start end to be 49. You can see, yes, and 50, and then I start. So you can see it has turned to green there. So after that, I now start preparing. Kindly watch how this is the Epson robotic arm will behave. While I'll start preparing, you can see it starts moving. Then it picks the dosimeter, places it in the OSL reader. It makes sure that it's aligned well. then it gets in. This is an automatic system, like all the procedures have to be followed before getting in, like it checks the height of the dosimeter. Then after that, it's now, you can see it's now preparing. Yeah.
43%.
Yes, it erases. When it's not complete, it starts again erasing. And you can see we have the not okay and the okay bit. In that this system is so clever that when it doesn't do the reading, or maybe the dosimeter entered there is fault, maybe you flipped it while preparing it, it will place it on the not okay. So it does the sorting for you. Yeah, this system does the sorting for you. This is now the goodness of the system. Yes.
Okay, so maybe for purposes of course, of again understanding, okay, I'm told I wind up now, but we'll go back to more of it. Kiptum, that is basically why we are here today, to take a look at this new machine. Remember, this is an automatic machine. AI is doing its work here. So that is exactly what we are looking at, and we will be able to, of course, package it for our viewer this evening, of course, to understand. We still want to understand more, and we'll be engaging Alphonsus for more information on this. But up to that point, Kiptum, it's back to you in studio. I hope you also got to understand something, the issues about science. Yeah, basically that's it.